Hi, my beautiful muses. Welcome or welcome back to the Modern Muse channel. We are gathered here today, and I'm so excited because I have such an important message for you guys. And I feel like this conversation needs to be had. So I actually stopped editing the intended video for today, where I ironically was going to be talking more about beauty, and I wanted to talk about the fact that beauty is not enough first. So I wanted to talk about this topic first, and then my next video, I'm going to get more into beauty itself. And the reason why I felt so compelled to talk about this topic is because I've noticed that I'm getting a lot of traction on my first video that I posted onto the channel, which is entitled Why Everyone Can Be an It Girl. And you guys are really loving that video. You guys are really loving that video, and I appreciate it so much. I'm appreciative of all of the love, the comments, the likes. Of course, it's growing the channel, quicker than I expected, and I love you guys for that, and thank you so much for that. But let's go ahead and get into today's video because I have something to say. So, if you're new to the channel, I did post a video some weeks back entitled Why Everyone Can't Be an It Girl. And in summary, I was basically expressing my thoughts about our current generation and the rise of what I like to call send me the link culture. And I need to trademark that, by the way. And send me the link culture is beyond just liking an outfit because it's cute or wanting to try a new moisturizing shampoo because, I don't know, you have dry hair. It's more like the average girl or the average woman wanting to turn herself into her favorite influencer or IG model, because they see a woman with a luxury lifestyle who has the socials. She has everything. She has the social circle. She has the cute boyfriend. She has the penthouse. She has the beauty. And they want to emulate that word for word, bar for bar. And as a result of that, my theory is that essentially all women are basically looking the same nowadays. They look the same, they dress the same, they're getting the same surgical enhancements, etc. And what happens now that everyone can access the same level of beauty as the quote unquote it girls, even though it wasn't something that they were inherently born with? You can basically walk down the streets in Miami and everyone is a 10. You know how women used to joke around about, oh, I see beautiful women every day. I can see beautiful women in the grocery store. I can see beautiful women, like 15 beautiful women on my TL if you scroll on social media. But it's so rare to see a nice looking man. Yes, it's because women are the ones that are being influenced the most. And they're the ones now that are spending thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on beauty, especially Black women. Don't get me started on Black women and spending money on extensions, lashes, makeup. That's a different story for another day. But everyone essentially has the money now. Well, not everyone has the money, sorry. Everyone essentially has access now to see what the beauty standard is. And they have the type of freedom now to go ahead and get the enhancements, to go ahead and buy that outfit, to go ahead and get, I don't know, the boob job, whatever it is, to make themselves look better. And as a result of that, beauty is not enough anymore. If you are the quote unquote it girl and you've been beautiful all of your life and you've always benefited from pretty privilege or being the most beautiful in the room, that is not enough anymore. Literally, beauty is basically ubiquitous, it's everywhere. And I don't want to say it's losing its value, but I think it's losing its value. Even men nowadays are saying, oh, I need more than just a pretty face. Back then, all you needed was a pretty face. And don't get me wrong, there are still some men that appreciate a beautiful woman. But in terms of actually um, taking her seriously, that's a different story. All of this piggybacks off of my first video because, like I said, We need to bring back originality as women. Muses, to me, in my opinion, should stand out from the crowd and be set apart. You do not want to be lumped together or classed together when people are talking about, okay, women are all women are this, all women are that. You want to be a woman that walks in your own, your authenticity. And this is where we should focus on substance. And whenever you have the word substance, to me, it's talking about anything that's internal. So, what do you offer as an extension of yourself when you walk into a room? And let's say there's like 10 of you, 10 women in a room. And out of 10 of you, there are 8 that are conventionally attractive. What is it that sets you apart from the carbon copies? You should be more than a pretty face as a woman, in my opinion. So you have intelligence, social skills, talents, manners, respect, self respect, style, sophistication, spirituality, hobbies, just to name a few. These are all examples of positive qualities that, when you combine them with your beauty, you can basically get through any door. And I want to give an example. I remember it was a summer where I was visiting home, and my uncle, he has a company where he works on yachts. He made a lot of friends, and he's networked to the point where these millionaires would just find him, to do some work on their yachts and whatnot. And I was riding with him that day, so I just tagged along. And I remember the guys were basically, talking about politics, like US politics. And though I live in the US, I grew up mainly in, the Caribbean. So the last thing they were expecting was for me to even be privy to any of what they were talking about. And I remember like my uncle was like, hey, don't you know about that? Weren't you just talking about that? Because my family, when I talk about things, they cannot relate to me. Like I be knowing things that they're like, girl, how do you even know that? And he was like, hey, she knows that. That's the same thing she just told me. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, actually, and I actually corrected them on a fact because they were talking about something about Trump, and it actually wasn't true. They were Democrats. I'm neither, but they were Democrats, and they were talking about something about Trump that I know wasn't true because I watch a lot of documentaries. I listen to a lot of political commentators. It's just something I do on the side as a hobby. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Candace Owens is actually one of my favorites. So just by me doing that, I did it at first for entertainment. Then it started to help me in the long run because it's like politics, even though a lot of people don't like to get into it, when you start to elevate your life and you start to get into these certain rooms, a lot of people like to talk about politics. A lot of wealthy people, a lot of people that are higher up in society, they love to talk about politics. So even if you're not on either side, it's good to still know what people are talking about. That is very valuable information. So I literally sat there and spoke with these middle-aged, well, no, I think they were maybe older than middle-aged, these older men about politics, and they were so surprised that I even knew the people they were mentioning in the government, that I knew about the policies they were talking about. Like they were so shocked. And I remember one of the guys gave me his card. He's like, if you ever find yourself in this area, you can always call and stuff like that. And something similar also happened to me another time. I can't remember exactly where I was, but I met this guy and he was from South Africa. Well, either he was from there or he had a business there. And we were basically talking, and he was just, talking about South Africa and how beautiful it was. And I was like, I know, I always wanted to go there. And I think he kind of thought that, I'm a young girl. I just want to go there to, party and what's not. But I was actually talking about, wanting to experience the safaris. And I said that he's like, what made you want to go there? Because, most young people, they want to go to like Mexico and Vegas and stuff like that. And I was basically telling him, from I was younger, because The Lion King is my favorite movie of all time. Well, one of them. And especially after I saw it live on Broadway, and then I realized like I read up on it and realized a lot of it is influenced by South African culture and the languages and all of that. That's what made me want to go. And he was so surprised and he was so impressed by that. He also gave me his card, and he actually, oh yes, he owns a safari company, and he gave me his card, and he was like, whenever you're ready, you can just call me. Now of course I won't, because of safety reasons, but I just felt like that was so cool. Like, just by knowing things and being intelligent in certain things, it can really open up different doors for a different, and you can apply this to any circumstance. Like, as a young woman, you have to be well rounded. You have to be knowledgeable. And that's not saying that you have to know everything, because there are things that I know nothing about, but there are some areas that I know a lot of things about. And that is very valuable in today's age, because the average young woman, especially early 20s, they're not really putting in the work to say, add to themselves, invest in themselves beyond their looks. And that's just the honest truth. Yes, everyone goes to college. And what's not going to college and getting your degree is different from actually being educated. And I know that's very controversial to say, but it is the truth. A lot of people are just copy and paste book smart. They can regurgitate basically anything when it's time for a result, or, I mean, sorry, when it's time for an exam, or something like that, when it comes time to test them. But beyond that, they're not really absorbing what they're reading about. They're really not. They're basically just doing stuff to get a good grade and to pass and to get their papers so they can get a good job. A lot of things they've learned in college, they probably can't even tell you one thing they've learned in college. That's not being educated. So, some tips I can give you, ladies, on if you want to, be well rounded in terms of knowledge. Like I said, watch documentaries. Like, you can do these things while you're working. Like, if you're working, it depends on what type of job you have. You can put a documentary on YouTube, something you're interested in, and just watch it. You can listen to a podcast. You can, like I said, I watch a lot of political commentators. You can listen to them. They spit a lot of knowledge while they're, commenting on things and stuff like that. And that's just one aspect of, adding more to yourself as a beautiful woman. There are a lot of different things you can do to set yourself apart. There are a lot of different things. Like, I recently found out that Laurie Harvey actually rode horses. I can't remember the name for that. Is it a equestrian? She actually rode horses. If that doesn't set her apart from the other thousands of women on Instagram that are also beautiful, because she is gorgeous, I don't know what does. Another fact about one of the women that I would definitely consider one of the muses, one of the OGs of being a muse, is Miss Angelina Jolie. And she is actually a licensed pilot. And a lot of people don't know that. I think she's been licensed for over 20 years. Obviously, she doesn't fly commercial, but I think that's so cool and so badass, to have as something to do on the side, on top of being an excellent actress. Another one of my favorite actresses, who I think is absolutely beautiful, is Miss Natalie Portman. Natalie speaks 5 languages, and she also attended Harvard. I think she studied neuroscience somewhere, something psychology related. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is another example of women that are well rounded and are not just getting by based on beauty alone, even though these women could absolutely do that. But that's all I'm gonna say on this topic, guys. I'm gonna keep the video pretty short. I'm working on posting more frequently, shorter videos, and I don't want to keep on ranting. I feel like I already made my point. So you guys can let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Do you think I have a point? Because basically all I'm saying is, as a beautiful woman, you need to bring more to the table. And it's the truth. If you want to be more valuable in this world, you have to get with it. The times are changing, honey. The times are changing. It's similar to how, back in the day, all a man really needed was stability, to be honest. If he had good income, he could basically get a wife. That's really all he needed. But nowadays, women are demanding more. Women are requiring emotional intelligence. Women are demanding them to be more helpful, more to be more domestic around the home as well, especially if the woman is also working. Women want men to evolve. And I think it's fair to say they want the same thing for women to evolve around just being pretty. And that's not to say that this video is just talking about what a man wants. You should want to add value to yourself because it's the right thing to do and it makes you more valuable as a person, as a member of society. It does. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely give a thumbs up. Be on a lookout for another video, maybe tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, then the day after. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.